We had a few other questions that were sent in. Will Kundalini cure my bipolar and arthritis? Okay, so here we are back to bipolar again. When you get to realization, yeah, any type of a mental thing gets blown out. It's no more. But the thing is, you have to get to realization first, and if you don't have the stability to walk the path, you're not going to get there in this lifetime. Okay? So I would say in this, that you start out with something easier. You know, maybe go to Vipassana or some other type of a meditation you can pick up and put down, and begin with something a little less intense than what's given here. As far as Kundalini curing arthritis, there have been some diseases, some things that get reversed. It happens for some people, although you can't go into it with this goal. Okay. I know on TV, unfortunately, on the Indian channel, there's this Swami that teaches all these pranayams for every type of disease, and all these asanas for every type of disease. And unfortunately, it can awaken Kundalini, and they can get more than they're bargained for. So, you know, even though places are using various techniques to heal disease, they have to, you know, it would be nice if they would say that this can awaken Kundalini, and instead of giving it as a really kind of afterthought in small print, so to speak. Yeah, so that's where that's at. Okay. Don't want to awaken Kundalini to cure your mental ills or your other things here. What is the difference between therapy and this path? And can I just get help to stabilize Kundalini symptoms but not commit to this path completely? Okay, therapy is usually based on getting a better, stronger ego. Okay, I'm going to get a handle and see a situation in a different way and get a better, stronger ego. This path is not to get a better, stronger ego. This path is to go beyond ego, to break through all of that. So it's a totally different 180 degrees away from therapy. Okay? Because there you want to create a better storyline. Here you want to go beyond the storylines, break through it, to see what's underneath of ego, not create a bigger, better ego. For some, they might do better in therapy. You know, have a little bit more of a strength within themselves before they start this path. Okay? But no, this path is not considered therapy. Although we do have a few therapists that are on this path, but the way that they do therapy now is radically different than the way they were doing therapy before realization. Okay? So different methodologies are coming forward, and we hope that they begin to be shared with the world, and that therapists move forward into a little bit better, more beneficial dynamic for their people. So let's see, the second part of it was, can I just get help to stabilize Kundalini symptoms? Yeah, there are some people that don't want to go to realization, yet they've, for some reason, had an awakened Kundalini, found themselves in the midst of spontaneous awakening. And for that person, I would say join the Dancing Hearts and don't go any further than that, because it's much less stringent than the Razor's Edge part of the ashram. And that was another question that I had, what's the difference between the two new ashram groups? And so I should talk a little bit about that. The difference in them is the Dancing Hearts is more for those beginning the path, for those that have families, for those that have love interests, for those that are more out in the world and they don't want to necessarily go all the way beyond a personal identification. Okay, they're not ready for that. Their focus is on duality. Okay, so that group can help to the people that want to just stabilize, and it can also get people ready to go forward into a deeper commitment as well. Doesn't mean that if you're in there in the dancing hearts that you have to stay there. Okay, but it just is a place that's a little more relaxed than it is at Razor's Edge. Solitary Razor's Edge is more for those people that are absolutely 100% committed to the path and going the whole of the way to realization. The path is absolutely number one, and everything else is secondary. Whether they're a renunciate and taking the vows or whether they are not, they are still basically living the life of a renunciate because the path is number one. Okay? And they're ready to go the whole way into non-duality, to go through that ego death. Okay? So if you want to be more worldly engaged, that's fine. Then you take first Diksha. You don't go any further than COS. Because the first initiation is to expand consciousness. Okay? It expands things for you so that you more open up to the world and you open up to oneness and you open up to that dynamic. The secondary Diksha, what is given, the morning mantras, is there to cut through mind, to cut through the last of whatever knots are there, okay, to take you forward to non-duality, okay. So let's just be aware of what the two different paths are, you know. And for some, I say it's much better for them to start out in dancing hearts if they're, you know, if they are not already in the midst of an active Kundalini, if they are not already celibate, if they are not, you know, really 100% ready to commit fully to go the whole way. Okay.